Vande Guru Shri Charanara Hare Krishna. Hello friends. Welcome to the channel Bhakti, the Nectar of Devotion. My name is Deepa. Today we will be talking about Draupadi Vastrayana. Draupadi Vastrayana is a folk song of the GSP community. The Konkani community is not only spread across all the states of India but also everywhere around the world. Children growing up in other countries have no access to our traditions and culture. Moreover, children brought up in cities too have no idea as to how our customs are being followed in our native towns. This is a small contribution towards them. Now, many already know about Vastrayana. This is for those who have no knowledge about it. Unlike Vastraharana, which talks about how Duryodhana invited the Pandavas to a gambling game in his kingdom Hastinapura and humiliated Draupadi and tried to get her disrobed, Vastrayana stresses as to how Draupadi prays and ultimately surrenders to Lord Krishna and how his divine intervention saved her honor. A little bit of service done to Lord Krishna is never forgotten by him. He always reciprocates quantitatively and qualitatively to whatever is offered in service. The backdrop of the story is that in the Mahabharata, Draupadi just tore a small piece of her sari to cover Krishna's bleeding finger. In gratitude to that, Krishna reciprocated many millions and millions of times by supplying unlimited quantities of sari when Draupadi was being disrobed. In this way, serving Krishna always brings in benefit. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 26, it is mentioned, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti upahratam ashnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Krishna accepts even a little flower from his pure devotee. He wants loving service and nothing more. He is not in need of anything from anyone because he is self-sufficient, and yet he accepts the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection. Bhakti is never casual. The process is eternal. It is direct action and service to the absolute whole. The offering should be made with an attitude of love. The important element in preparation in serving and offering is to act with love for Krishna. The present text of the Mahabharata has 18 divisions, each called a Parva or Parvan. The disrobing of Draupadi takes place in the second Parva of the 18 books of the Mahabharata. The Sabha Parva is also known as the Book of the Assembly Hall. The Sabha Parva has 10 sub-Parvas and a total of 81 chapters. The Dutta Parva, which comprises of chapters 45 to 73, describes how Yudhishthira is provocated by Shakuni and how he bets his kingdom, his brothers, himself, and lastly his wife in this 20th round of the game of dice. Duryodhana then asked Dushasan to order Draupadi to come into the assembly. When she simply refused to do so, she was forcibly dragged into the assembly. In this situation, too, she was highly confident. She had immense confidence in her 5 husbands and she knew they would definitely protect her. Draupadi looked at Bhim, expecting him to harm Dushasana for his heinous action. Yet Bhim did nothing. Draupadi now looked at Arjuna, hoping that he would help her. On the contrary, he lowered his head. Similarly, all the others too lowered their heads because they had miserably lost in the game of dice. This shook the faith she had in them. Not receiving any help from them, Draupadi turned her attention towards the Dharmacharyas. She spotted Bhishma, Vidura, Dronacharya, and Kripacharya. She was very confident of receiving great help and assistance from them. On not getting any support from them, she was highly disappointed. She decided to take her own support. She had tremendous power as she is regarded as one of the Panchakanyas, the 5 maidens. The other 4, Ahalya, Sita, Tara, and Mandodari. Yet she was no match for Dushasan. Ultimately, Draupadi realized that she had no support except for the Lord. So the Padbal Ashraya, Swajanbal Ashraya, Swabhal Ashraya, Dhanbal Ashraya all disappeared. After her hands in total surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, and immediately the length of the sari increased and increased and increased. Dushasan had absolutely no clue about what was actually going on. He tried pulling and pulling the sari. In spite of his repeated attempts, he was not able to humiliate Draupadi. He finally gave up, tired and totally unconscious. This was the Ananya Bhakti of Draupadi. Shri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 11, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. As you surrender, I will reciprocate accordingly. If one wants his complete and absolute grace, then one has to surrender completely and absolutely to him. So this one condition is very important. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as a supreme master, another as his personal friend, and still another as her son. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. Anyone who engages in devotional service anywhere within this universe is never unprotected. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.8.68. Now over to Srimati Vasudha Prabhu. Srimati Vasudha Prabhu is one of the senior-most members of our family. She has been religiously reciting the Vastrayana for over 55 years now.
Sankta Vastrayana Aikadimno Kana Kara Devale Smarana Sarvai Kara Devale Smarana Hastena Nagarantu Vistara Jugarantu Salvale Kunte Putra Purna Salvale Kunte Putra दृष्ट दुश्वासान श्रेष्ठ द्रौपदीले वरल तांडले सभाये दूर दूरनो तांडले सभाये दूर बिल्ले पंचाली माना केल्या तिणे ध्यान सर्व यंत्रा मिले ध्यान सर्व यंत्रा मिले अग्नि तो उड्डीत सर्पांख दोर्येत लज्जा सहन जैना कृष्णा मका लज्जा सहन जैना भारी गुंडीन तो उड्डीत क्रूर वेश गेवेत लज्जा सहन जैना कृष्णा मका लज्जा सहन जैना गळव गर्ग सादेवेत शूल मरण पाव्येत लज्जा सहन जैना कृष्णा मका लज्जा सहन जैना पंचपतीनी असून मंचने केल्या मका लज्जा सहन जैना कृष्णा मका लज्जा सहन जैना तुक्कानम गेलवेले मक्का यौनो पावन रहरे तुंचे पाव नरहरे तुंचे पाव भीष्माये दुरु बैसुनो धृतराष्ट्रो असुनो बसल्यांती मौन धोरनो बसल्यांती मौन धोरनो गांधारी आणि भामा आसोनो इते फल आसोनो इते फल करुणो हगे कारेश कोणी दूरचारी करी रक्षण हरी मका करी रक्षण हरी बसला सबेरी जननांतंका करुणा राख राख यौनो मका राख राख यौनो सर्पांकस करुण वागांकस करुण बसिल्यांक ना करुण हांगा बसिल्यांक ना करुण गोळे आशिलेस्ते ते कोण राखानंथी मका तुंची गती कृष्णा मका तुंची गती भस्मासुरो हारा भस्म कोरो येताना कंसारी तुम्ही रखिले तका कंसारी तुम्ही रखिले गना अंबरीश मुनी श्रापो तका यौनो वनमाले तुम्हें रखिले तका वनमाले तुम्हें रखिले पतिले श्रापन गोर गती गेलेल्या अहलेक गती देवनो तुम्हें रखिले तिका गती देवनो तुम्हें रखिले क्रूर हिरण्याले धीर पुत्राक तका कारुण्यान रखिले तका कारुण्यान रखिले बरेसान चरडा सुरचीन धाळताना मोर वैरी तुवे रखिले तका मोर वैरी तुवे रखिले रावणांक मारला विभीषणा पट्टो बांधला तुवेंचे पालन केल्या ताका तुवेंचे पालन केल्या गोर कर्म कोरनो नारगा म्हणलेल्याक नारायणान रकिले ताका नारायणान रकिले गरुडगमन राख शरदेशयन राख परमात्मा तू राख मका परमात्मा तू राख कमल नयन राख दुरित शयन राख दुर्ला हाता तो कोनो मका दुर्ला हाता तो कोनो कंस मर्दन राख शेषु शयन राख वासुदेवा तू राख मका वासुदेवा तू राख लक्ष्मीपते राख सीतापते राख राधारमणा तू राख मका राधारमणा तू राख बंधुनी सोडली मका पतिंक हावू नका तुवेंची मका राखू का कृष्णा तुवेंची मका राखू का आऊ सुई तुमका बापू सुई तुमका बाहू बंधू ये तुमका कृष्णा बाहू बंधू ये तुमका असल्या वेळेरी तुमका सोणू घालू नका कृष्णा तुवेंची मका राखू का कृष्णा तुवेंची मका राखू का रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा कृष्ण सह ते वेळेरे आशैली द्वारकेंथो सह ते वेळेरे आशैली द्वारकेंथो द्रौपदेले रोदन ऐकून दिल्या वरदान अक्षय कृष्णान दिल्या वरदान अक्षय कुंती सुनीले वस्त्र आनंद जाओ म्हण अंतरपुरांतू मळालो कृष्ण अंतरपुरांतू मळालो भक्तांची री दया भक्तांची री माया कितल्या अबा श्रीहरिक माया कितले अबा श्रीहरिक लेखनाथेले कापडा एक लेख तांडून मूर्खान तांडये तांडित मूर्खान तांडे तांडित दुष्ट मूर्खान तांडे तांडित काळे धवे कापडा हळदोवे कापडा काळे तांबडे कापडा पाट्या जरेचे कापडा होड पाट्या जरेचे कापडा गुलाले रंगाचे कापडा मोर्या रंगाचे कापडा येदोळ चोयना नातेले कापडा येदोळ चोयना नातेले कापडा तांडून तांडून घालून वाडोन वाडोन आयले कापडा वाडोन वाडोन आयले शक्ती कुंदवल्या हाता शक्ती कुंदवल्या पाया दड्डने पडला भुंयचे रे दृष्टो दड्डने पडलो भुंयचे रे शकुनेल तोंड बावले कर्णान सान जाले कौरवान माते भक्षेल्या ते वेळेरी थई कौरवान माते भक्षेले ही कापडा काणो जोखे कोरनो धवरा म्हण दिल्या दूतांक आज्ञा कौरवान दिल्या दूतांक आज्ञा आज्ञा ही ऐकून यज्ञेशा दुवेन सोडले दोळे क्रोधान दोन्ही सोडले दोळे क्रोधान कोपोदी गेलो तो अग्निरूपो जाऊन धरला कपडा राशिक तक्षण धरला कपडा राशिक राजमंडप भरलो बायरी घरांतू धरलो ते पट्टणांत थंय भरलो ते पट्टणांत थंय भरलो वीर भीमो गेल्यो दोन्ही तोर जांगो मारनो गदेन उड्डव जांगो मारनो सागर सुखात अग्नि हो संभवू जायत श्राप हो सत्य जायत ती गेलो श्राप हो सत्य जायत उदैल्य जोडे रे बाल धूमकेतू नक्षत्र दृष्टो पडले दिवसाचे नक्षत्र दृष्टो पडले भरलो घोणे कैळो रडलो सोणे कोल्लो जाल्ल्या वाईट शकून खबरावांक जाल्ल्या वाईट शकून भुई कंपन झाले नक्षत्र सकल पडले हुल्लय्यो प्रतिमो ते वेळले रे थई हुल्लय्यो प्रतिमो कवरावांक आयला नाशो हे उत्रान मोसो म्हण पावले घरकडे सर्वै म्हण पावले घरकडे भीष्माक विदुर्यांक आणि पांडवांक मिळणं जाल्ले वाय संतोषो भारी जाल्लो मना संतोषो इंद्रादी देवता नारद मुनी आयल्या विमान रे बैसून आयल्या विमान रे बैसून जय जय द्रौपदी जय जय पांचाली म्हणो फुलांचो पावसो घालो देवानी फुलांचो पावसो घालो हरेले स्मरण करीत इंद्रो चमकाला वैरे अमरावती नगरे वैरे अमरावती नगरे हरिभक्ता केज्ञाई बरेपण शिवाई नांतंका दुःख काही केज्ञाई नांतंका दुःख कोण भरून खंडित कोण पटण करतीत तांचे रे करुण कृष्णा तांचे रे करुण प्रातःकाल रे जावो सायंकाल रे जावो पटण केलेल्यांक पावता श्रीहरी पटण केलेल्यांक पावता भक्ती देवाले जायत भाग्य संपत्तो जायत आरोग्य भाग्य जायत सदै आरोग्य भाग्य जायत पांडवा पंचो प्राण जावन आशिल कृष्ण आमका रक्षण करतालो सदै आमका रक्षण करतालो वर कनक दासान बरैल्या वस्त्रायण अस कर्नाटकन वस्त्रायण अस कर्नाटकन गुरुले कृपेन व्यंकटेशाले दयेन केल्या कोंकणी भाषेन वस्त्रायण केल्या कोंकणी भाषेन दोष होण सोडा गुण मना धुवरा करा देवाले स्मरण सर्वे करा देवाले स्मरण मणिपुरात गेल्या दासान केल्या तकार्पण हे केल्या तकार्पण मंगलम द्रौपदी पोषकाक मंगलम ध्रुव पोषकाक मंगलम अहल्येक पावन केलेल्याक मंगलम जय मंगलम मंगलम भक्तोद्धारणाक मंगलम भय नाक सदा मंगलम वेण श्री कृष्णा कृष्णार्पण कृष्णार्पण।
Thank you so much, Srimati Vasudha Prabhu, for your valuable contribution to this video. This brings us to the end. Bhagwan Nam Mangalam. The Lord's name always brings auspiciousness. Keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram at Bhakti, the Nectar of Devotion. Jai Shri Krishna.